Okay, so I'm feeling called to extend this reading with some messages from the Shaman's Oracle. So this is a deck that's... Oh, okay. All right, here we go. So we have the Hunter of Gifts and the Ancestor of Knowing reversed, which kind of looks like an owl. Okay. And then this one here, Hunter of Gifts. So the hunters in this deck speak of, I'll show that card a little more. The hunters in this deck speak of setting out on a hunt for something, but in that quest actually also gaining spiritual insight upon that hunt. So it's like, yeah, you're going out for something specific, but in that journey, in that process, you reach a higher realization in acquiring it. And don't we all know about that so much? So it's kind of like, to me, this speaks of going for something that you want to go for, and that in itself is going to be bringing you to the next level of epiphany, of realization, of integration. And then this being reversed here, I feel like there's something that you're getting message-wise from a higher that, because it was reversed, you're not quite acting on, or you're not quite listening to, or you're not quite doing. And this right here is really just saying, just in going for it, there's gonna be a new revelation. And the ancestors in this deck speak of the animal spirits. They speak of primal wisdom, instinctual knowing. So it's like we get these intuitive hits, these intuitive, instinctual inclinations that come to us to do things, like this spark of inspiration or this idea, and it comes from somewhere, and we don't always follow it. We don't always see it through. And I'm not saying every one of those is always one to follow. I'm just saying there are ones that we do feel strongly about, and we do feel coming to us very strongly, that we see a positive outcome for if we did follow them, like for the collective. And when we have those things, we gotta act on them. Even if it weren't for the collective, even if it were only for the evolution of our own being, of our own consciousness. Because again, in the hunter's journey, we set out for something, and we think we're going for something specific, and we are, but what we don't always have in mind at that point that we set out for it is all of the extra revelation and insight that's going to come from embarking and engaging in that process, engaging in that challenge. Because it's definitely a challenge sometimes when we are in a pursuit. We kind of come up against the things that we don't know how to do, or we just aren't used to yet, or whatever it may be. There are the challenges that are inherent in a hunt sometimes. Maybe the only challenge being that of faith, that it will indeed go through, that it will indeed happen, whatever this thing may be. So yeah, just getting to that other side of that hump, the other side of the mountain, of that. And I feel called to pull some more. So let's get these. Shaman's Oracle cards up, and we did have a card come through. So we have the Shaman of Tradition. I'll put that out there. Okay. Reversed, we have the Spirit of Destruction. Okay. Okay. Reversed, the Shaman of Birth. It's so pretty. Wow, super cool. It's funny because it's like he's hunting. Or so it looks like with that spear. And his hunt, he's kind of reaching over to the woman who's holding this new life in her. And she kind of looks, at least what I'm getting right now, what's coming through to me is almost like his hunt, his spiritual quests that he embarks in through the hunt is able to lend her a little bit of comfort in what she's now going through, the upgrade of energy that she's going through, the integration of new energies that she's within. So I'm going to put that over there. That came out reversed. Yeah, it did. Okay, so Shaman of Reflection. So this is, it looks like a man with antlers holding a snake and an orb in his chest. And we're going to get one more and then we're going to read them. All right. Ancestor of Skill. All right. And he was upside down too. Just for reading's sake, I'm going to turn these upright and leave them a little further out. I'll make sure they're still, yeah, okay. All right. Just kind of taking it in, see what we're getting, where we're going. I'm going to turn these back reversed for now. So yeah, so there is something that we have not been listening to, that if we do embark upon the journey that it sets us on, we are going to gain that higher wisdom from it, that new wisdom that we didn't have, that new perspective that we didn't have, kind of epiphany from embarking in the process, engaging in the process. So the shamans in this deck are all about journeying to attain higher knowledge. So this shaman that's coming through is the shaman of tradition. So kind of bringing through, what's coming through is how tradition can nourish this process. And I see that there's a spirit of destruction that we're not quite allowing. We're not quite letting something be destroyed. We're not quite, which is also continuing to not quite allowing this a birth that's coming through. Again, not quite allowing the nurturing of this hunting feed to the new birth, because we're not actually allowing this process. We're not following the process. We're not really following that intuitive spark that we have of something to do. So then not allowing the destruction of something that will fall away as a result to acting on this, not really allowing this new birth that would happen if we were to continue the journey, go on this journey, not quite seeing our own reflection in the metaphorical snake that's about to bite us. Basically that it's all our own actions. It's not really like this outside of us snake that's going to bite us. It's our lack of acting on our own impulse that is causing this situation that's just being represented by a snake that might want to bite us. And this is just what I'm getting. I mean, you could get a million different things from cards. It's kind of the whole point of it. It's kind of what images are about in divining in this way. That there's a picture's worth 1,000 words. So it's more about what we're getting message-wise. And this is just what's coming through right now. So may it serve those that it serves. And then really allowing us to stand up in our skill. See, like this is, to me, it's like this animal wanting to like stand upright almost. It's like really standing up in our skill, where something that might have been primitive is really allowing us to get more upright, get more just upright in our stance, like really lift us up. So I feel if we turn these the other way, if we allow these energies through instead of keeping them blocked, and we allow this knowing to guide us, if we allow the reality of higher divine guidance coming through to us through our own instinctual impulses, and basically lets us go on this whole journey. Only card that's not quite together yet with the whole thing for me is the tradition piece. Okay, so what this is speaking to me about right now is to sink back into what you know, whatever that may be for you. Get back into what does serve you, what you know you can come to again and again and again and again and again, and it's always going to set you right. Like for me, automatically looking at this picture, it feels like, just sitting in nature, and having that ground me, because it always does. It might be a certain ritual that you do. It might be waking up and saying prayers or affirmations. It might be waking up and stretching. It might be waking up and doing some yoga. Or it might be lighting a candle before you go to sleep. Whatever it may be for you, everybody has their different things. It might even just be going to church on Sunday if you're of that religion, faith, or whatever. Doing whatever your thing is. Doesn't really matter what it is, but just doing your thing. That kind of gets you back home inside of yourself, to where there's certain things you don't question. So that's kind of what this speaks of to me, of like what you don't question, what you just know, and what kind of gets you back into you. So that anything that's going to be of that energy will help you to go on this whole journey. Because again, this kind of ties right back into this previous reading. So now that's it. Because once you get into you, sink back into you, which is what this reading was saying earlier. I don't know if you watched it, but this whole reading earlier, in a previous video, was speaking to coming back home to yourself, inside yourself, and making yourself okay and free to be you, and just letting whatever your expression is just be. And by nature of that, you are liberating yourself, definitely. And then in that same process, you're not judging anybody else, because you're your own unique perspective and everybody else is their own unique perspective, and each has their value. So I won't go too much into recapping the whole reading. But if you want to watch that, there will be a link in the description box. But this is basically just about coming back home inside yourself and connecting to divine from that place, sinking into your own unique perspective, whatever it is that you are, however it is that you feel, whatever it is that's true for you in this moment. Sink into it, don't make it wrong, which allows you to reach into your own divinity, your own piece of the collective. And doing so allows you to bring higher love. It allows you to bring higher divinity through to this realm. Which again speaks to this owl coming through, those intuitive sparks, those instinctual hits that we get to do something, those creative ideas, creative sparks. They're coming from somewhere else. They're coming from somewhere beyond us. Well, beyond our, I shouldn't say beyond us, but beyond our day-to-day consciousness. So that's our way of bringing divinity through, bringing our divine aspect through to this realm, which I truly believe is all of our work here on this earth plane, is bringing the divine through to this earth plane. So I hope you liked this message. I hope you liked this reading. I truly hope that it serves humanity, the universe, the collective powerfully for the highest good of all. From my unique divine perspective to yours. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day.